All right, welcome back, everyone. Ready to dive in.
I am. Let's go.
Today, we're going way back over 1,000 years to explore the work of a scholar you might not know, but who's hugely influential.
1,000 years. Okay, I'm intrigued.
His name is Ibn al-Haytham, and he's known as the father of modern optics.
Ah, optics. Now that's a field with a lot of history.
Yeah, and Ibn al-Haytham is right at the foundation of it. He lived during the Islamic Golden Age, which was a time just bursting with scientific discovery, and he was one of the major figures.
I've always been fascinated by that period. So much innovation happening. What kind of sources do we have about him?
Well, his most famous work is the Kitab al-Manazir, also known as the Book of Optics. It's considered a masterpiece, full of experiments and observations that really changed the way we understand how we see.
The Book of Optics sounds like a deep dive indeed. And what's the mission for today? What are we hoping to uncover about Ibn al-Haytham and his work?
Well, first, I want to understand how he revolutionized our understanding of light and vision. I mean, this guy was working over 1,000 years ago, right? So the knowledge and tools available to him were totally different. Plus, there's this story that he might have made some of his biggest breakthroughs while under house arrest.
Under house arrest, that's even more intriguing. Okay, so we've got a groundbreaking scholar working in a time of incredible discovery, potentially making major discoveries while confined. I'm ready to dive in.
Me too. So let's start with the basics. Back then, how did people think vision worked?
Well, believe it or not, they thought our eyes emitted beams of light, like little searchlights, to illuminate the world.
Wait, really? So they thought our eyes were projecting light outward?
Yeah, it sounds strange now, but that was the dominant theory.
It does seem a little counterintuitive when you think about it.
It definitely does, and that's where Ibn al-Haytham comes in. Through careful observation and experiments, he debunked that theory and showed that we see because light enters our eyes, not the other way around. He completely flipped the script.
A total paradigm shift. That's incredible. So how did he actually prove this? Were there any particular experiments that stand out?
Oh, absolutely. One of his most famous is his work with the camera obscura. It's basically a dark box with a tiny hole that lets light in.
Okay, I think I've heard of that.
Well, he used this device to demonstrate how light travels in straight lines and creates an inverted image of whatever's outside the box. This was a big step in understanding how images are formed.
Wow, so it's like a really early version of the cameras we use today.
Exactly. A simple device, but with such powerful implications for understanding light. And it's all thanks to Ibn al-Haytham's ingenuity.
So he wasn't just theorizing. He was really testing these ideas with experiments and observations.
He was a true pioneer of the scientific method. He wasn't content to just accept what others had said before. He wanted to see for himself and figure things out through observation and experimentation.
And this is all happening centuries before the scientific method became the standard, right?
Centuries before, he was truly ahead of his time.
That's amazing. Okay, so we've got this incredible scholar challenging the accepted knowledge of his time, laying the groundwork for the scientific method, and doing it all with limited tools and resources, maybe even while under house arrest. But why should we care about his work today? I mean, it was a long time ago. How does it connect to our lives now?
His work is all around us. Think about eyeglasses, contact lenses, cameras, telescopes, fiber optic cables, even lasers. They all rely on the principles of optics that Ibn al-Haytham helped to discover.
So his legacy is still alive and well in the technology we use every day. It's amazing to think about that ripple effect.
It is, and it makes you wonder, right? What could he have accomplished with access to the kind of technology we have today?
Right. What could Ibn al-Haytham have achieved with modern labs and computers? It boggles the mind.
Truly. But what's also important to remember is his mindset, his approach to knowledge. He was intensely curious and he questioned everything. He didn't just accept the common wisdom. He wanted to understand how things worked.
And that's something we can all learn from, no matter what field we're in or what tools we have available. That spirit of curiosity and inquiry, that's what drives progress. That's what led Ibn al-Haytham to his discoveries, and it's what continues to push science forward today.
Exactly. And for those listening, think about what you're curious about. What do you want to understand better? Maybe it's something in your own life. Maybe it's a scientific mystery. Whatever it is, take a page from Ibn al-Haytham's book. Be curious, question things, and don't be afraid to experiment. Who knows what you might discover?
Great advice. And that's a wrap for our deep dive into the world of Ibn al-Haytham. Thanks for joining us.
It was fascinating. Until next time.